Like what class is woke?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I
Like
mean,
if you adapt to society that you live in, are you not woke? Do you know what I'm saying? It's like if you go back, if you get say you go back 15 years ago, yeah. If you were if you were gay, it was something that you kind of it was more
keep to
hidden.
yourself.
You
Yeah,
kept it to
yeah.
yourself. Our society's obviously changed and we've adapted as a society in a sense. We've come to understand that no, like we want to give you more freedom and da 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 da, which I'm all for. Must say I'm all for that. So does that make me woke, or am I just adapting to society?
It sounds like, well, this is the problem with so many definitions of being woke. For
Yeah,
some people, woke means you find something out today, which just changes your mind straight away. So let's say you believe in something for so long, then maybe you read one or two things or watch a video which tells you otherwise, then all of a sudden you think you're woke. But that's not that though.
mm,
Being woke is what I class as being woke is in the current situation you're in, your mind, you're self-informed, you can think for yourself, you can sort of see what's going on around you, and you can make a conscious, wise decision on how to react to things. That makes sense.
yeah. No, I hear what you're saying.
Because I've seen a lot of people now, especially now these days, especially when lockdown started, a lot of people had time to sort of sit down and sift through the internet or watch videos and blah blah
Yeah,
blah blah. Blah.
learn
Someone
a lot.
could come and tell me, being a black man in the UK, getting harassed by the police, they see one video because they're in lockdown now, they got nothing else to think about. All of a sudden, they think, oh my God, this is happening in our country. Yes, it's been happening the whole time. We've grown up in this country.
Yes.
We know what it's like. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So we've known that from day one. My mom and dad would probably tell me, just be careful when you go out the house. Because some people got so much time to sit at home. You've got nothing to do but watch stuff. And then what's happening in other countries, for example, the George Floyd thing, it happens because it's a movement and a lot of people are now going, oh my God, it's happened. This has been happening since 50, 60 years ago.
Yeah.
It just happened in a time where people are sitting down, they're not distracted
Nothing
by
to
other
do.
things. It becomes
Yeah.
a big thing. But for me, it wasn't like, oh my God, it's a new thing. Nah, we've
No.
seen this
And another thing
time and
as
time
well, it
again.
was caught on camera. So you actually witnessed this man's death live on camera. And I think that's what kind of hit a lot of people more hard because you saw it from start to finish. Do you
Yeah,
know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
it's a camera, yes, I'll contribute to it, but it doesn't have to be a camera to be there though. Rodney
I know,
King
but
was
if you
slapped
look
as
at
well.
you look at someone like Trayvon Martin, for instance, when he died, 2011, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
they're
that
about,
wasn't
they're
caught on
about.
camera. That wasn't caught on film. So when that happened, you always had that other argument of, oh, well, this must have been the reason why, or he shouldn't have wore a hoodie, or why did he go and buy Skittles at 11 o'clock at night? Do you know what I mean? Dumb arguments like that, which don't justify anything. You got no argument. You got no basis for your argument. So when you have an argument like that, once you then see the whole thing, if they had the CCTV and you could actually literally see from the minute he walks into that complex to George Zimmerman following him and then them having a fight and then him shooting him, you
Mhm.
can't not say that he didn't kill him. Do you know what I mean? And it's the same with George Floyd. If it wasn't caught on camera, a lot more people would be saying, you know how people had the argument now that, oh, he died from drugs and da da da. Even though the autopsy says he died from suffocation, it's
But you
there
can
in
see for yourself though.
you can
You can
see he's
see it happening.
yeah,
How can you then go turn around and debate? Yeah, he died from drugs or whatever. But you've seen it happening. The guy said, "I can't breathe." Funny enough, I was watching Panorama that day. This week, I've sort of been
okay.
in a rabbit little hole myself now. Panorama, I've
Yeah.
watched a lot of them. There's a similar thing that happened here where I can't remember his name for the life of me now. I think I'm going to get slated for this. I think it might have been 2016 or 17. I'm not entirely sure. I have to check my
Okay.
facts again. But basically, similar thing happened. There was this guy, obviously a black guy, normal guy, but he had a mental condition. But
Mm.
he kind of had medication for it, whatever. Um, So he was just standing on the corner of the street. Police were called. Someone called the police. Black man standing on the street on the corner, just talking to himself, whatever. They come and check up on him. They check on him. It's like, oh, I'm just chilling on the corner. Like, I'm not harming anyone. I'm just standing on the corner. I haven't spoken to anyone, whatever. The police officers let him go, but obviously he walked into, I want to call it, I think it's like a park or something along those lines. Walked to the park and he had his mental episode. Right.
Okay.
Police get called to him. There's about, I think it's about six of them, six officers were there. At first, obviously, he's a big black man. So instantly you're thinking they're going to be like, oh, already. He didn't say nothing to them. He wasn't being threatening anything. And then he's having his episode, whatever. He went on the ground and one of the officers sort of leaned, put his knee on his back. Right.
Okay.
So I don't know if they could tell he's sort of mentally unstable to deal with the situation happening at hand. He's not being aggressive. But they thought, okay, let's put him down. We're going to tie his hands and his knees so he can't move. So they've done that. And then he's reached out to touch one of the officer's hand. She touches his hand as well. But then she started to say, your head's in my hand. So he let go. So when he let go, and the officer then put his knee on his neck. And you could hear him saying, I can't breathe. He said that over and over and over again. He took about, then they called the ambulance, but they were sort of just standing around him. And you could see this guy's losing consciousness. He's dying just on the floor. They're busy on their little camcorders talking. I don't know what they were saying. Then they said they were going to lift him to the ambulance that was parked maybe, let's say, 50 yards away. They made him walk whilst his knees were bound and his hands were tied behind his back. And he kept on falling over and over. And then he just died, just like that. But then it took something like a video like that for that to be sent out. And people go, oh my God, I can't believe it's happening yet. Well, yeah, it has. It's not the first person that's happened to. You know what I mean? So I was watching like the family of the guy was saying, yeah, of course, the videos come out, people are going to come out and speak up, blah, 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 blah. But I personally think it shouldn't take a video for people to do something about it.
Yeah.
Because that was the thing.
But people still find a way to sort of disagree when the evidence is right there in front of them.
Just on a human level. It's not about race or just on a human level. You can
should
see
be able
to,
to
that's not right.
Black, white, blue, gold. That don't matter. Doesn't make no difference. Do you know what I mean?
They're mermaid for all I care.
Yeah, if you see someone die like that, you've got to call that as it is. You can't.
I know,
but then they come and defend it, which I just don't understand.
I mean, there's always going to be people going to be defending this one because they're set in a certain mindset of how to think of things. Because if something starts off as a movement, which should have happened, I don't know, maybe it's happened like 100 years ago, probably. But it started last year, and then immediately when it started, day one, people already pushing it back. And obviously you see what happened last year with people sort of attacking the police, racing or whatever. It was the white people then obviously to fight the police and protect the statues and all that, which is all great, it's part of history and stuff. But the reasons for that being done, I think everyone knows though. You can't be that ignorant not to know what's happening in the world.
Yeah, you should know, especially by now, you should know exactly what's going on, what's happening. I'm pretty sure if you can't sort of, if the facts are there and you can't seem to comprehend it, then like, what's wrong with you?
There's something seriously not right.
What's wrong with you? Yeah, because like if someone comes at me, I don't know something, and they come and school me on something, I'm not going to get all defensive about it. I want you to come, if I don't know something, come school me, come teach me, so I can know. Do you know what I mean? There's plenty of things that I don't know. Plenty of things that I don't know. But I used to work at a pet station. I used to work at BP, and I used to work with this guy, Muslim guy, and I used to do night shifts with him sometimes. Yeah, and every time I'd come to work with him, he would school me on stuff that I never knew. He schooled me on like what happened in like South India, what happened in like Yemen, like the truth behind it all. That's his background, you know what I mean? So he knows what he's talking about. Who am I now to come out and tell him, oh no, you're wrong? I
because
don't
of a
know it.
video I
I
probably
don't know
see on
that.
Twitter or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
Let me someone who comes from that world, let me listen to his story because more than likely he knows the truth. See what I'm saying?
it's yeah. I mean, it's 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 sometimes very hard to go back and forth with people who don't understand where you're coming from or can't
They're
see common
ignorant, yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm gonna sit here and go, yeah, I know everything, or I've got the best answers to things. No, I don't. We're learning. We're both learning from other people, from other cultures, or where
Yeah.
they're doing different
100%.
places. But then some people, yeah, you just speak to them, you just can't understand how a human being can sort of process information that way and then still come out with that nonsense that comes out of their mouth. Which is like, how do you think in your head?
Yeah.
And it's very weird. I mean, on Instagram and Twitter, we can go back and forth with someone all day, just going out
Constantly.
big circles. Like, there's no point in talking to you now because you're lost
Yeah.
cause. Not saying you're a bad person, but just your mind is just like,
Mindset is you're
yeah,
set on that and you haven't allowed yourself to take in new information and question what your beliefs are. Do you know what I mean? Like if
yeah,
some when people come and tell me things all the time, like I question what they what I think. If someone comes and tells me something different that I'm not used to, then I start to question something like, okay. Like for instance, like someone came out the other day about the whole gender thing.
mm-hmm,
And I was just like, to me personally, my personal view of that is that I don't agree with this whole pansexual and dansexual and da da da. Because if there's, I think it's pansexual and it's where you're attracted to the personality, the energy that you get of someone. So that's basically the personality, yeah, the vibe you get.
okay,
Now,
yeah.
I'm sorry, but if there's two genders, man and woman, does that not
That,
make you bisexual?
I'm, I'm sorry, I don't mean to actually laugh at this. People are going to escape in the comments, but say that again.
So pansexual, yeah, you're gonna make me laugh now. Pansexual, yeah, is basically when you're like, I think it's pansexual, anyway, one of these sexuals.
Yeah,
So when you're attracted to the energy and the personality of someone, yeah.
yeah.
Now, if there's men and there's women, yeah, and transgenders, I count them as men and women on what side they're ever on, yeah.
That one
So there's
part,
men
yeah.
and women, yeah. So there's basically actually two genders. Does that not make you just bisexual?
It
Because
sounds
there's a
bubbles, but the
difference
definition you're just saying,
between gender and sexuality is a difference.
yeah,
A gender is literally what you got
who you
down
are.
there,
Yeah,
and sexuality is kind of what you are attracted to. I
yeah,
mean, so if you're gay, you're attracted to men, only men. You're a lesbian, only females. Bisexual, both.
yeah.
That's it. That's it. Literally,
It's a-
what else? What else can you be attracted to? Because if you're attracted to
wow.
someone's energy and their personality, but you go both ways, is that not the same as bisexual?
But by the definition of that, it is that, isn't it? I
I
mean,
mean, like, school me in it, like, come and teach me. But to me personally, that's how I see it.
I think this. I'm all for people doing whatever they want. Free yourself. It's a free world. Then you only got one life to live. But I'm starting to realize, especially with social media and stuff, there's a lot of, I won't say murky things, but it's a lot of different things that starting to just pop up from nowhere. I've
From
never heard
nowhere,
of
yeah, yeah, yeah.
pansexual like that. I'm almost 30 now, without putting my age out there. And I've never, ever heard of it in my entire life. I've just grown up knowing man, woman, bisexual, homosexual, lesbian. That's it.
That's it, yeah.
All the pansexual, I've never heard of that. So
Bro,
it's kind of like, oh,
there's over
okay,
70 of these genders.
70.
Yes,
Okay,
70.
that's a bit, that's a
70,
bit
you
much,
know.
isn't it?
70.
All right.
Even if there was 10, you could be like, even that's too much. But 70.